people were kind of like, that's a really cool idea. You should make a thing of it. So one day I sat down at home with a beer and I just sat there. I bought Dogecoin.com. That's a bit funny. And I slapped the Doge face onto a coin and just put it live. And I wake up the next day to heaps of retweets. And my co-founder, who's based up in Portland, had messaged me and said, "Hey, I found that you can change the Bitcoin source code, or Litecoin source code, and you can change the font to Comic Sans." I'm like, ooh, okay, we're gonna do this. That's hilarious.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual
Time this week, $900. Now, Pete, if you
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Wednesday night. We had fun earlier at the Boston Celtics basketball game, so I'm on later. It was an exciting game. Celtics win in overtime. Very exciting for those who are basketball fans. It was great. Best two teams in the NBA playing tonight and was right there. Got some great pictures, great videos, a lot of fun. But we're here to talk about what the hell happened today, because Bitcoin ETFs were finally approved and Bitcoin just went it didn't do much of anything. So yeah, Bitcoin was just like, just really didn't do too much. Kind of went up, went down, went up, went down today, and just that's a little bit higher. But the story of the day was Ethereum. Look at Ethereum; it's still going up. When it hit 2,500, I was like, "Hey, that's great!" And it's over 2,600, still moving up. And for those who are into Ethereum Classic, look at that chart! Wow. Ethereum Classic just taking off. You never know with these cryptos, right? So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what's going on. Why is Bitcoin just kind of hanging out? Why is Ethereum Classic, and the Ethereum L2s all moving up, as well as Dogecoin? Yes, Dogecoin did go on a little run today too, because it was hanging out down here around 7.7, which 7777, Jason was buying at 7.7. Some of you were also buying here. We dipped down to about 7.58 or so. That's a nice little dip. But then it goes on this run. So that's nice. 8.3 at 40. Some people saying, what's up with Dogecoin? Dogecoin's dead. You got to be patient. That's what we've been saying. You got to be patient. And it's like with a lot of these other cryptos too. You just got to be patient. So we'll be talking about all of that as well. How's everybody doing? Hey, low roller, how are you? Price action don't make something good. Yeah, sometimes. You never know. You never know. So yeah, finally ETC was moving. Yeah, Voice of Reason said that. Finally. Yep. Yeah, Ryan, you made it. And what is next? Yes, Mr. Cheyenne, we'll be talking about what is next. Howdy. I know Ethereum Classic hasn't been moving for 9 months. But today, it decided to go for a little run. So, yeah. People buying ETC because it's cheaper than ETH. Oh, let's get this Ethereum. This one's less. I get there could be some of that. That's true. Could be some of that. Let me drop down here in the corner here. And hey, it's just one of those days where it's all good, unless you're a Bitcoin maxi and you're kind of scratching your head like, wait, what? It was supposed to go back to 48. Bitcoin was 48 yesterday. Because if I go to the 1 hour, we see what happened yesterday, right? Well, we had this approval, so-called approval of the ETF, according to the SEC X Twitter file, right? Zoomed up to 48K. And then it was like, oh, no, Gary said, no, that was a mistake. Boom, dropped all the way down below 45, 48 to 45. And then through the day today, it was just kind of like, overnight and this morning, Bitcoin dropped all the way down to 44.5. But then in the afternoon, it was like, it looks like those ETFs are going to be approved. Just like I said 3 months ago, I said they would be approved on January 10th. So the time to have bought Bitcoin was 3 months ago. But you can still buy it on the dips here because Bitcoin's going to go much higher eventually when the money starts flowing into Bitcoin, because it will. Just because the ETFs were approved today, nobody's buying the ETFs today. That can't start until tomorrow. So are we going to see the Bitcoin price action come 9:30 tomorrow morning, East Coast time? Will there be inflows of billions of dollars into Bitcoin? And my understanding is these different companies that have these ETFs need to buy spot. So they buy spot on, well, most of them are using Coinbase for their custody services. Some are using Kraken but most of them are Coinbase. And so if you buy spot on Coinbase, that's going to make the price go up. I don't think Coinbase can do any underhanded, OTC kind of selling of Bitcoin. Maybe they can. I don't know. Or maybe they get their Bitcoin OTC like BlackRock, and then they transfer it onto Coinbase into a wallet for their custody. I don't know. But the more Bitcoin that's bought, which is underlaying everything that's being, bought on the ETFs, is that much more Bitcoin that basically comes out of circulation. So the scarcity of Bitcoin leads to higher prices. It's the law of supply and demand, right? Less supply, more demand, price goes up. Simple economics. So that's what's in store for Bitcoin. We have the Bitcoin halving coming up in April. That's going to be a big deal. I think the halving is going to be tough on some of the miners. And we could see miners selling Bitcoin and going out of business. We could see that. So I am expecting a dip happening after the halving. There probably will be a little bit of Bitcoin action before the halving. But it's still January, guys. And we're talking April. So what is Bitcoin going to do in the months of February and March? I don't think they're going to be doing that much. I don't think Bitcoin's going to do much between now and then. I don't see it. And so, essentially, right, what I was going to say is the Bitcoin ETF approval was already priced in with Bitcoin at this level. Now, at 46K, could it go up to 48? Yeah, I think it's going to be trading right in here between 44 and 48. That's my guess. And that was what was priced in for Bitcoin. So what happened? After 4 o'clock, when it was officially announced, right, this time correctly, that the ETFs were approved, Bitcoin just kind of started going down in price. It was just like, okay, whatever. And the price went down. It traded back up, and then we had a little bit run the next hour here. But it's just kind of lagging because most trading, this is true of stocks and it's true of cryptos. Trading is forward thinking. It's forward thinking. And because of what I just said about Bitcoin and the halving and it kind of going sideways here, we're not going to see the Bitcoin price go crazy. Now, unless it's really obvious that there's billions upon billions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin with, big investors buying these spot ETFs. We'll see. But that'll be gradual. That's not going to be a big spike. So the attention was turned to ETH because ETH is the next big thing. It's like, well, this was the spot ETF for Bitcoin. Next are spot ETFs for Ethereum. Maybe. And that's why we saw this. Because investors are forward thinking. You're looking ahead and it's like, this is going to be the next big thing. Also, because of this and the excitement of ETH, we see Bitcoin dominance just take a nosedive. It had been going up and up and up and up and up, leading up to the approval of the Bitcoin spot ETFs. And then it just tanked because Ethereum dominance started going up. Look at the ETH dominance. And this was actually from yesterday in the fake out. ETH just started taking off and it hasn't slowed down. That's pretty cool. And Solana's just kind of going sideways because ETH is getting all the attention now, which is really interesting. So we know that Vitalik Buterin put in the roadmap, a new roadmap for Ethereum going forward, and they are seriously working on speeding up the blockchain and lowering the gas fees because that's what ETH needs, right? It needs those two things. And I think that forward, projecting forward, that's what's causing this ETH price to go. I mean, 2,600 ETH now. And it's just getting started. People are already saying 4,000, 5,000 ETH by the summer. And we could see that. We saw Solana do a 5x since the summer from $20 to $100. So we could easily see ETH from 2,000 to 4,000. That's just a 2x. Yeah, I'm getting a Dogecoin. Hold on. You guys are so impatient. It's like there's so much else going on that also informs Dogecoin, as well as other cryptocurrencies. But this is where the attention is right now. And not only ETH, but then there's these layer twos. Well, there's Ethereum Classic we talked about. Like, man, look at this, just crazy, straight up. Maybe it's because there are still a lot of people confused about Ethereum and Ethereum Classic and what the hell Ethereum Classic is. Well, Ethereum Classic is a proof of work cryptocurrency. That's for sure. It's one of a few that are left: Bitcoin, Dogecoin, ETH Classic, Litecoin, and I guess you throw Caspa in there, right? Those are kind of the big five now, proof of work cryptocurrencies. There's not many others. That's it. So ETH Classic. Now, ETH Classic goes on runs, and I wouldn't be surprised if ETH Classic didn't hit $100 again in this bull cycle. So that's still like a 4x from here. So, yeah, ETH Classic is the original ETH, and the Ethereum that Vitalik now runs, that's now proof of stake, that was the fork. just the opposite of what Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Satoshi Vision did. The original Bitcoin is still the original Bitcoin. But now personally, I own both ETH and Ethereum Classic. So I'm very happy today. I'm very happy. I mean, I still have a lot of Bitcoin too, but Bitcoin's the one that's been moving the past couple of months. And ETH Classic have just been blah, but now they're moving. So that's good to see. And then we have these layer twos that I've been talking about for months, which have been going up. Here's Arbitrum. Arbitrum, this is all-time high. We zoom out to Arbitrum on the daily, and Arbitrum is, we're in price discovery here. Its previous all-time high was $1.82 that it hit back here in April, because Arbitrum just launched here in March. So coming over $1.82 as we saw at the beginning of January here, coming back down, retesting, and now up over $2. This is price discovery, what we call. We have no idea where this is going to go, because this is all-time high and it could just take off. And then the other is optimism. Optimism. Back up over $2.45, which was my buy price. So I am back in the green. That was as of like right before Christmas. And now just going up higher. And we're talking price discovery again. It's all-time high. It actually hit right here on 27th of December, $4, like $4.16. Now it's at $3.87, making a second run, and it could be in price discovery. So we have all of that going on, and that's all ETH related. So that's where the biggest gains are right now. So what about Doge? Well, I mean, we look back here on the daily, when Doge did take a dip out of this descending wedge here, and it hasn't got back up yet. Now $8 or 8 cents, 8.42 is a good price right now compared to where we just were, as some people were scooping up on these dips here that I got circled in white here. So that's a good recovery for Doge. And I think this is, it's kind of weak compared to what ETH has been doing the past couple days, but Doge has its own catalyst to look forward to. And when those become real, you're going to see the Doge price go up. And I think that is going to begin when SpaceX Doge 1 mission launches in February. That is still on schedule. Very unfortunate what happened with Astrobotic. It looks like the Peregrine lunar lander is just going to float in space. I don't think they're going to be able to get that thing to land on the moon, which is too bad. So there's a Dogecoin that is going to be floating in space for eternity. That's too bad. The ULA Vulcan launcher, the Vulcan Center, that did great. They did their job. So this was all on Astrobotic, and they're going to try and figure out what went wrong, because they've got another lunar lander that's going to go, but that one won't have a Dogecoin on it. So it'll be interesting to see if they get that one to work. And they still have to figure out what happened to Peregrine before the next one goes up, which is unfortunate. But Dogecoin, we had this launch and we had Dogecoin going to the moon, and the Dogecoin price didn't do anything. No one was talking about it except us, right? We were all excited about it, but nobody else was doing anything about it. But SpaceX and Elon. So we had this whole thing, right, with the SEC and this fake out of what were they hacked? Was it an intern, right, that put out that X tweet post too early? We'll find out. Elon's team looked at it from the X side, and they said that there was some kind of anomaly, right? There was some kind of hack or something that happened. So I don't know if we'll ever hear the full real story of what that was, but it just was very odd that the SEC got back a hold of that account, their ex-Twitter account, so fast. I mean, in a matter of like 20 minutes, like since that tweet that wasn't by them, right? They say it wasn't our staff who did that, but then 20 minutes later, they had control of their account to put out another tweet to say that that first one wasn't real. It's like, nobody gets their accounts back that fast. So, we'll see how that all plays out. But there was this where Doge official CEO said, what was the SEC's password? Wrong answers only. Just being a joke about it, right? And this was on Tuesday, yesterday. And Elon responded, LFG Doge to the moon. So for those who are all worried about Elon Musk hasn't said anything about Dogecoin, well, he did. He did yesterday. LFG Doge to the moon. What a great password, right? Doesn't have any numbers in there, but he's got 2 exclamation marks, right? That's a good password. Could you imagine if that was really the SEC's password? But, I mean, there's Elon just say, hey, Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin. So, for all of you who are just saying Elon's forgotten about Doge, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Still there. Which leads me to believe there's going to be something next month with SpaceX and the Doge 1 mission. He's going to say something. So, and of course, there's all these great like Dogecoin responses, right? On this thread, because Elon said Doge, right? So it was great. So check that out, X-Twitter. Please follow me at ChrissPax. Here's a couple pictures that I uploaded from Boston TD Garden tonight about Algorand. Algorand is advertising at TD Garden. Algorand, the future of finance. I was like, whoa, look at that. And then not only, in the concourse, but also above the court, they had this huge banner, like ringing all the way around the court. Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. So Algorand is like marketing like crazy. I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, and for those just joining, I was at the Boston Celtics basketball game this evening. Celtics won. That was awesome. And yeah, Algorand was advertising at TD Garden. So that was very cool. Very, very cool. So what is going on in the chat here? We'll get into some news in a minute. Bonk went up. Yep. Yeah, Bonk went on a run up over 15.5. That's nice. The Bitcoin forks. Yeah, I don't get it. Because it's a cheaper price and they still think it's Bitcoin, maybe, but I don't know. So yeah, I think BTC is just kind of be going sideways. I do not see Bitcoin like spiking in price tomorrow. I don't see it. There will be some buying of Bitcoin. I think the BlackRocks and the Fidelities and the Van Ex and all of those, I think they already bought Bitcoin. And they're already holding some seeding, right? I think they already did that. And that was this price action that we saw leading up to, let me go back to the daily here. That was this price action coming up here. I think that was them buying all this Bitcoin here, December and into early January. And now I think we're just going to go sideways up here. Now this is good. 45K becomes support and Bitcoin trades above 45K for a month or two. I think that's fine. That's fine. It's not going to dip back down. Those that were looking for 35K, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So people are going to get used to seeing Bitcoin in the 40s, and then they're going to be looking for dips to buy, and you might be lucky if you grab it below 45K now, maybe. So, yep. So that's what I see for Bitcoin. And you can even see the volume right now just totally dying out. I mean, look at this volume here. Just totally dying out. And you can see the price just flattening out on Bitcoin. This is on the 15-minute chart. Because it had its excitement earlier, and now it's just dead. Dead, dead, dead. Doge will go up by April, Joshua says. Yeah, I'm looking at February. And of course, I will be carrying the SpaceX launch live, like I did the ULA Vulcan launch. I'll do the SpaceX launch live. That'll be fun. And we'll see. Is there going to be a Dogecoin, a Doge painted on the rocket for the Doge 1 mission? Are we going to see that? That would be so awesome. We don't know yet. We don't know. But yeah, we'll see. Doge does take patience. Yes, you're right, Joshua. And that's what I've been saying. I've been saying that for months. And some of you guys are just too impatient. It's like, Doge isn't doing anything. Ugh. Well, as a low roller said, still the 10th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. So for those saying Dogecoin is dead, it's like it's still the 10th largest cryptocurrency. It's not going anywhere. So, yeah. And when Doge eventually spikes, it could move up. I don't know. I think Cardano's doing well. Avalanche is doing well. But if Doge goes on a big spike, it could flip back over Avalanche. Cardano's a bit of a stretch from 12 billion to 20 billion, but it could. We know Doge goes on these runs sometimes. And then people just start FOMOing in, right? So that's what we have to look forward to. But this is good. Earlier today, it was down at 7.8, and now it's up at 8.4. So this is a good little run here for Doge. We'll see if it holds. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, Ryan, rip the lander. Very sad. It'll be interesting to see what Astrobotic's final report is going to be on what they think really caused that propellant leak. But that's too bad. Yeah, Joshua, you said it right. If Dogecoin was nothing, it wouldn't be the 10th biggest coin. Bull Run says, after BTC approvals, everyone is fighting for the spotlight because they want to be next. And it's ETH. All attention on ETH now. So, yeah. Hasib says it's a dog year. Dog. Doge on X payment soon? What do you guys think? Let's go through a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. This was yesterday or early this morning, right? They were reporting from yesterday that they all dipped following the false ETF approval report, which of course triggered liquidations. Yes, we were talking about these liquidations and just like, man, look at all of the money here that got liquidated, both on the long side and on the short side. Just, that's a lot of money. Just this is on the hourly. So it's just like, just the shorts alone in the past like 8 hours, 9 million, 3 million, 7 million, 8 million, 23 million, 17 million, 25 million. It's like, and as I say, what are you guys doing? Wait, shorting or trading leverage long? Do you know how many people are just getting wrecked doing this? I know you guys aren't, right? Because you tune in and listen to me. It's like you see these wrecks and you're just like, what am I trading leverage for? So yeah, don't. And you see, people are shorting ETH right now, and somebody just lost $2,000 shorting ETH. They think ETH has run. They think Arbitrum has run, and they get liquidated. I mean, that's not a huge amount of money, but it's $2,000 somebody lost trying to short ETH. It's like, what's ETH at to 2610? We could see a little bit. Looks like we got a little red candle here now. We might be going down a little bit this next 10 minutes. We'll see. We will watch it. Hey, Phil. It is still Wednesday night here, but I know that it is Thursday where you are. Glad you could join on a little later because of the basketball game I went to. It was fun. Yeah, leverage is gambling on gambling, isn't it? You're gambling on cryptocurrency, right? You have no idea if it's going to go up or down. It's a 50-50 gamble. It's like roll a dice, you know? Same as playing the roulette wheel. Just, okay. You make money today and you lose it tomorrow. Yeah, let's see if it holds, Joshua, on Doge. Let's see if it holds. Yeah, back in 2019, Doge was hurting. 55 was probably as low as it got, I think. I don't think it got any lower than that because it was back up in the 30s in 2020. And then, of course, 2021 is when it bolted up into the top 5. But now hanging out in 10, that's pretty good. Hey, Tedward, how are you? Bitcoin ETF makes me super hopeful for crypto this year and next. I just set myself for Dogecoin a lot higher. Love the confidence. And, you know, that's true. It's like, this is a big day for Bitcoin. And of course, the price is just kind of flat. But it is a big day for Bitcoin because this gives it some legitimacy for this digital asset that up to now, most of the mainstream financial media has ignored and joked about. I mean, Jim Cramer, right, is always joking it. He's on the Bitcoin bandwagon, then he's off the Bitcoin bandwagon. And he has no idea. And the rest of the financial analysts, they don't even talk about Bitcoin. But now they will. Now they will. Because the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, and the VanEck, and the ARK Invest, and all that now have a Bitcoin instrument that anybody can buy into. So that's a pretty big deal. So yeah, that's a big deal. So Dogecoin price prediction. Is there a short squeeze brewing for Doge? Because it was almost 3 years ago since we had the GameStop short squeeze on stocks and that whole mess that happened with Robinhood and other exchanges where they wouldn't let you sell your GameStop stock. Yeah, that whole crazy thing. And then a bunch of folks on Reddit then just turned to Doge. And it's like, let's just squeeze Doge. Could we see that again? And is 11 cents the target, or would it actually be more? Dogecoin has recently been experiencing a period of bearish trend. Yeah, we saw that as it dropped below its the baseline on its descending wedge. Market has witnessed continuous tug of war between bullish and bearish forces, leading to an uncertain landscape for investors. Despite the bears having a slight edge in this scenario, some investors and analysts remain cautious about the coin's short-term prospects. Price currently stands at 7757. Well, when they wrote this, right? And where is it now? Yeah, 8.4. So it's already gone on a little run since this article was written. This is crypto analyst Skew. In terms of structure and technical uptrend, I would be looking for a higher high above the December 22 high of 11 cents and a higher low at about 9.4 cents, which was the December 23 high. So that's what Skew is targeting, is this whole Dogecoin price moving up, where we will see this about 9.4 be the low. That would be right in here, right? Yeah, what we had right there, 9.4 would be the low there, and then trading up to 11 cents. That's not much of a short squeeze in my book. That's a small move. But could we see Doge kind of trading up that way? I think we can. And that'll be a lot of the alts. Because again, what we do see happening now is this switch from Bitcoin doing its big thing up until Tuesday, right here, through Monday, and then it's just going to go sideways. The whole thing is going to flip now. We see Bitcoin go on a run. We see ETH and ETH's companions now, these layer twos, like Arbitrum and Optimism, right, do their runs. And then we're going to see the rest of the alts run. That's typically how it goes. So now it's ETH's turn. And this is on the daily. Look at this. On the daily chart, we see ETH popping up. We see Arbitrum. Let me get my Arbitrum, right? Popping up. But Bitcoin is now going sideways. So that's a big change. That's a big change. XRP will be the next to get their ETFs? I don't think so. I think XRP is still stuck in this lawsuit land, and I just don't see ETFs for a long, long time. And we may not even see these ETH ETFs. I think there's still a lot that's unclear in the minds of the SEC about ETH as a security, about staking ETH. Gary Gensler has said many times that he doesn't like crypto staking. So that could play a role. And it was very interesting in the post, or the blog post that Gary made earlier today, really made it clear to point out that Bitcoin was this like non-security commodity thing, right? But he and the SEC has never said any other cryptocurrency would fall under that category, although I beg to differ, and I say Dogecoin is also that. And in fact, I think Dogecoin is more of that than Bitcoin, because Dogecoin had a fairer launch. It doesn't have this big Satoshi wallet. Dogecoin was just let out into the world. Jackson and Billy didn't like mint themselves a whole slew of Dogecoin. So, and Dogecoin is proof of work. And the bigger difference that I see between Bitcoin and Dogecoin is Bitcoin is hard capped, right, at 21 million. So it's seen more as the store of value like gold, not really a commodity, not like the definition of a commodity that I know. It's just more of like this store of value instrument, financial instrument like gold is. But they keep finding more gold. There's going to come a day when there's no more Bitcoin. But Doge keeps churning out more Dogecoin. So Dogecoin is going to be either a commodity or a currency. Now, I don't think the United States Treasury is going to allow Dogecoin to be called a currency. Not like El Salvador has called Bitcoin a currency, but that doesn't seem to be really successful from what I'm reading. I mean, the country owns a bunch of Bitcoin that is now in the green because of Bitcoin's price up here at 46K. So they're over their average price now. And so they have millions of dollars in profit, but they started buying a couple of years ago when the Bitcoin price was up. And so they were under for 2 years. And now they're back up. But I don't think there's a whole lot of people really using Bitcoin as a currency in that country. That's not what I'm reading. Dogecoin makes a much better currency. Elon has said it. Mark Cuban has said it. Others have said it. Will it get there eventually? Well, this summer, if we do see X payments, because we still have those coming, right? Let's see. This is Dogecoin price hints massive price correction. What would the correction be? Would it be up or would it be down? I'm betting it's going to be going up. After this, Dogecoin price traded close range between 8.9 and 9.3. I think we're going to be up at those levels again. I think Doge is inching back up and will be trading over 9 cents. So is it going to dip down, like do this like super bearish 1 cent? No, not going to do. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see 4 cent Doge or 5 cent Doge. Not going to do that. Dogecoin shines as Elon Musk's X prepares to launch person-to-person payments. This is the big deal that Elon said could be in place by the summer. And if there are peer-to-peer payments on X Twitter, in my opinion, it's much easier for them to do it in Dogecoin than to do it in fiat currencies, because you've got people all around the world. So if I wanted to send Phil, right, person-to-person payments on X from my US dollars for his Australian dollars, right, there's a conversion that needs to happen somewhere. 1 Doge equals 1 Doge. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. 1 Doge equals 1 Doge. If I want to send Phil 30 Doge, 42 Doge, 69 Doge, whatever it is, there's no conversion. And the only person who would allow that to happen would be Elon Musk. Because he hates the banks, remember? He hates the banks. This is what's going to drive the Dogecoin price in 2024. A lot of it is going to be the anticipation of something like this. If it doesn't happen, will there be a letdown? Probably. He had hinted before that maybe he starts with fiat and then starts looking at something else. But he said, bum, bum, bum. For you that weren't here earlier, he said here yesterday, LFG Doge to the moon. I mean, it's like for all of those who were saying Elon hasn't said anything about Dogecoin lately. Well, he did yesterday. Doge to the moon. I mean, he was joking, right? This was about the SEC having their account compromised, right? Yeah. Everyone joking, like the SEC, the one who has told people to make sure you have two-factor authentication, right? And they didn't. They didn't have 2FA, right? So what was the password to their account, right? Doge official was saying, hey, just for fun, like, give me some wrong answers. And Elon says, LFG Doge to the moon. So. Dogecoin. I see it coming back up to the 9-cent level, and it's going to be trading back up here between 9 and 10 cents very soon. And from there, we'll see what happens with SpaceX in February. That's where I see this going. In ETH, I see ETH just continuing to climb in anticipation of a spot ETF for Ethereum. There have already been applications made, and those deadlines are in May of this year. This is what's going to be driving crypto over the next few months. Yeah, there's going to be this Bitcoin halving thing, right? That's kind of a big deal. But again, like I said earlier, I think it's going to be a challenge on the miners. You're going to see Riot and Marathon probably do okay. They're kind of the big guys. There's a few others, but some of the smaller ones, they're not going to survive. The mining rewards are cut in half. And when they're cut in half, that means you get that reward, for that 10 minutes, and the reward is half what it used to be. And you got to look at your business model and see if you can still remain profitable, depending on how often you are earning those Bitcoin rewards. So that will be interesting to see. That could put a lot of selling pressure on Bitcoin if you've got a bunch of miners deciding they're going out of business and they're going to sell all their Bitcoin. And they're going to go invest and do something else. So there will be a lot of that happening late April, I think. So watch for that. But that's not going to slow ETH down, and that's not going to slow Dogecoin down, in my opinion. I've been pretty right over the past 6 months. My predictions have been coming pretty spot on. We have our Kriss DCA portfolio now at back up to 46% profit. We've had a nice run back up here. And because our stupid Litecoin finally decided to go up in price, our worst performer is now in the green. Along with SHIB. SHIB is back up. And XRP is back up. But yeah, Litecoin was the last one that was in the red, and now it's turned around. It's only 0.28% up, but here's Doge up 35%. Our Bitcoin is up 72%. Our ETH is now up 58%. And our render, it was up 200. It's down to like 188%. Look at our algorand, up 100%. We were buying these cryptos in August and September. That was the bottom of the bear market for altcoins. And that's where we were buying all of this. This is now our Kriss DCA portfolio. I put in $10,000. It's now up at $14,600. We are going to sell this portfolio at the top of the bull market, and I will be sending Dogecoin to those who are members of my YouTube channel. Subscribing is good. Appreciate the subscriptions always, because you get good information just tuning into me, watching my videos, and us having fun here on these live streams. But if you join my YouTube channel, you become a member of my YouTube channel, then you get a little check mark next to your name. Your name's in green in the chat, and you get these fun little emojis that you can use, like Curtis just put in there, that you can't use unless you join. But if you don't join, you're not going to get part of the 75,000 Dogecoin I am going to be sending out. So that's the deal. That's the deal. If you wait until the last minute to join, you'll only get a little Dogecoin. For those that have already joined, you're going to be getting more Dogecoin, because I'm going to rate it, prorate it per months of service, right? Because that's only fair. Those that supported the channel earlier are going to get some more Dogecoin. And most likely, the prices of all this cryptocurrency a year from now is going to be a lot higher than it is now. And that Dogecoin is going to be given out. So we're having fun. We're right at the start of this bull market, which I called 3 months ago, that on January 10th, we were going to see the real bull market start. And look what we have happening. I mean, look at this. Let's go to the 1 hour on ETH. Look at that. Boom. ETH taking off. We've got algorand taking off. Solana, yeah, kind of deciding to go. We got Cardano taking off. It's all taken off now. We go to our Morales bubbles, right? What color do you see? What color do you see? There's not a whole lot of red on this chart. This is bull market stuff, guys. Bull market stuff, guys and gals. Ethereum Classic, 33%. It's just like, really? That's bull market stuff when you have Ethereum Classic taking off like that. DZ, welcome. New member. Appreciate it. You won't be sorry. And we're having fun. Yeah, I do some technical stuff, Curtis. Oh, and thanks for the ideas too about doing some fun things during live streams and videos coming up. I'm going to incorporate some of that stuff. Thanks. There's some good ideas. Yeah, if you guys ever want to email me, I do have an email too. You can go on my channel here, and you can go to well, you go to my about. I can't see my about here, but you guys see it when you're on it, because this is, I'm looking at my own channel on my thing, and it's got my email address if you ever want to email me. Cardano? Sure. You can take a look at Cardano. Now, Cardano is behind in its relationship to Sol. I use Cardano and Solana as my sort of my trading pair. And they were the same in the 20s. When Cardano was 25 cents, Solana was $25. Solana went up to $100 though, and Cardano went up to 50 cents. So Solana did a 4x, Cardano only did a 2x. But I think that that's going to even back out, because Cardano just tends to trade slower than Solana. And we've seen that over the past couple of years. The last bull run, same thing happened. So I think we're going to see that too. I think you're going to see from here over the next 6 months, Cardano is going to outperform Solana. And particularly if ETH keeps going up, that takes the wind out of Solana sales, and Solana is just going to stick here at about $100, while ETH goes up over 3,000, which will allow Cardano to go from 50 cents to 60, 70 cents, maybe even 80 cents, while Solana is still kind of going sideways. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, I admit, I do own Cardano now. I used to own Solana. I flipped it. I'm a little behind on that flip, but sometimes these things take time. And we talk about that, right? Talk about patience. In cryptocurrency investing, sometimes patience is good. Too many of you guys like buy into something and then you immediately sell. This bull market stuff, you got to give it time. Like Bonk. What's going to happen to Bonk, right? What's going to happen to Bonk? I know Bull runs Bonk. Looking pretty good. You waited until the price went down. You hit your target. You bought, and now you're up 50%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So Bonk hits a $2 billion market cap, chasing Shiba and Doge. Do you think Bonk will come up in the top cryptocurrencies? Shiba is now here at number 17, $5.9 billion market cap. Let's see where Bonk is. There's Sats. Sats is 56. Wow. And there's Bonk at number 70, just under $1 billion. So, because Bonk used to be $2 billion when the price was at 30. Then the price went all the way down to 10, just dipped below 10. Now it's back up to 15. So we could see Bonk go back up to 30, right? And then it'll be back to 2 billion. That would move it, if everything else stayed the same, roughly up to like 44. But to get up to Shiba's position, which again is at almost 6 billion. So that would be a price of, it would have to lose another 0 to do that. That would be an all-time high for Bonk. Could it do it? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But we'll watch that. But for now, it's like all eyes on Dogecoin right now. Number 10 cryptocurrency, hanging strong. Price dipping just a little bit this evening. But it's still up after a nice run earlier. That's okay. That's okay. You don't hope to win Doge. You will get some Doge. It's not winning here. This isn't going to be you have a chance to get some Doge. No, all members of my YouTube channel will be receiving Doge from this account. I'm going to be selling all of the other cryptos. The Bitcoin, the ETH, the Render, the Algo, XRP, Jasmi, Shiba, Litecoin, Matic. I'm going to sell all those, which are now, it's a little over half of the allocation here. I have to pay taxes, right? I got to pay taxes of the gains. And the rest of this Doge, this 75,000 Doge, some of it is going to cover my taxes. The rest is going out to you guys. So I got Bonk, but I also hold a bunch of Pepe. Still holding that Pepe. Well, you never know. You never know what's going to happen to that Pepe. What is Pepe at now? It's at 13. Yeah, not bad. Not bad on Pepe. The dancing Doge again. Love TradingView. Bitcoin ETF vote was 3-2. Really? I hadn't heard that. People shocked Gary Gensler vote Bitcoin ETF to get approval. If he votes for no, Bitcoin ETF gets rejected. The Bitcoin ETFs have been approved. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. You're welcome, DC. You're welcome. AWOL's asking the highest Doge can realistically get to. I mean, it can get to $2. Realistically, will it this bull run? I mean, if it's being used on X Twitter as not only peer-to-peer payments, but also as a currency you can use to buy things like on Shopify, because X Twitter just announced earlier this week that they are partnering with Shopify, where you will be able to buy things through Shopify or through X for Shopify items. And what are you going to use as a payment? What if it was Dogecoin, right? That would be huge. Elon's the one to make that happen. So, yeah. Mr. Pax, I like that. Mr. Pax. Do you know that I'm a renowned analyst? According to Coinpedia, I'm a renowned analyst. Mr. Pax. Avalanche is going to do great. Yeah, chaos. Avalanche is going to do great. Now, I do own some Avalanche too. I bought in Avalanche at a good price. We're at $38. We had a nice little run here earlier today. It has been higher. It's been over $40. I go to the 2-hour chart here, and you can zoom back here. We had this on January 2nd. We were up to $43 right there. I see this going right back up and eventually going higher. So $60 is not out of the question for Avalanche by the summer. We could see that. A lot of games being built on Avalanche, and gaming is going to be huge this bull run. Gaming is going to be huge. And I've got Avalanche for that, and I also have Immutable X. That's my other gaming crypto play that I've made. Now, there are some others. I know some of you probably have some Gala from before. I just don't know what's going on with the founders. They're like suing each other, and it's not a good look. But they've got some great games from what I've seen. So Gala will probably do okay. It's hard for me to support a cryptocurrency where you have the two founders fighting each other and suing each other. Just like not a good look. It's like, I don't want to be any part of that. So. But Doge? Yeah, Android. The one thing that I was thinking about, this currency in video games was like Ready Player One. If you saw that movie, right? And what were the coins that they were collecting? I don't remember what they were called in the movie. But what if those were Doge coins, right? What if it was all Doge? Like real currency. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. You bought Mana, Alicia? Yeah. Yeah, I was not in any of the games or NFTs last bull run. To me, it just looked like too soon. All the Axie Infinity like stuff. I just was like, I just can't do it. But now that it's gone full circle here, and now it's coming back, and the games are looking better, I guess Axie's back, and I guess it's doing okay. And there's people in, I think, a lot of the Asian countries that are pumping Axie again, because you have a lot of people in those countries who don't make a lot of money and don't have jobs, and if they can make a little bit playing Axie, that's a job for them. That's what was happening last cycle. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Yeah, I need to rewatch Ready Player One too and see what those coins were. That's a great movie. That's a fun movie. But that's it, right? Now those headsets are becoming real. You got this new Apple one. Yeah, it costs like $3,600, but it's like I'm never gonna wear one of those things. It's like, no. But it's funny how movies many times eventually become reality, right? Yeah, we could see that. The only thing here is like, again, Ethereum's changing narrative, spot ETF, and altcoin beta hype back an ETH rally. ETH price surprised the market with a notable show of strength. Yes, we covered that when Ether 2, and then tokens of layer 2 networks, Mantle, Optimism. I showed you the Optimism chart, and Arbitrum. I showed you that all-time high now again, and it's in price discovery, just going up. This is where the move is in the next 3 months. It's right here. It's going to be ETH and the related layer 2 networks. And we're probably going to see some other blockchains like Algorand and Cardano do well. They did not perform as well as Solana did. I think Solana is still kind of overbought. And I think we're going to see Algorand and Cardano outperform Solana over the next few months. So that's kind of what I see happening. And Doge is going to do its Doge thing, and we're going to watch it, and we're going to tune into the SpaceX launch for the Doge 1 mission sometime around mid-February, and I'll be covering it live. And we're going to see whether Dogecoin gets the mass market treatment it deserves. There's still a lot certainly in the mainstream media that don't like Elon, and they would think something with a Dogecoin on it is just a joke and probably won't cover it. But we had an unsuccessful moon project, unfortunately, early this week. And guess what the next one is that's going to the moon? It's SpaceX's. That's right. It's SpaceX's. And going to the moon is a big deal. I just got a notification on Avalanche. Is Avalanche going up again? Up over 39. Yep. So I got my notifications on my phone when my cryptos are going up. I get them when they go down too. We've had those, but right now it's up. So here's Avalanche. Back up over $39 on its way up. So can you claim burnt SHIB as a loss? Are you sending SHIB to a burn wallet? Why would you do that? SHIB is getting burnt on its own by the devs, and they're burning billions of them, right? No one's ever asked me that question. I don't know. Personally, I think it's kind of foolish to send SHIB to a burn wallet. Again, that's the dev's job. You're supporting it by holding it, right? Right. So by you buying it and holding it, you're supporting SHIB. The rest of the SHIB is getting burnt by the use of bone on Shibarium, right? And the more the Shibarium is being used, the more SHIB is going to get burnt. And you buying SHIB and holding SHIB is what supports it. Sending SHIB to a burn wallet is just throwing money away, in my opinion. So can you claim that as a loss on your taxes? I do not know. I do not know. Yeah, Caffeine says you don't have to claim anything. It's a permanent loss. And maybe it'll offset gains. I suppose you could try that. I mean, what's the worst thing can happen, right? You get audited. And then you show you had, you know, 1 million SHIB that you bought at, you know, 0.0000010, and then it goes to 0. So yeah, you can maybe you offset a gain, right? Of, you know, $100 or $500 or however much you spent to buy that SHIB. So yeah, let's say it's $500. Yeah, offset a $500 gain with that $500 loss, and I would call it that. I'm not financial advice. If you really want, you can, you know, ask a tax advisor. But the worst can happen is you get audited, and then you show them you bought this SHIB at this price on this date, and then the SHIB went to 0 because it got sent to a burn wall. So that's kind of what I think. First time hearing that. It wouldn't send any more SHIB though to a burn wall. I really wouldn't. They're doing their thing, right? Burning SHIB. Your amount of SHIB isn't going to make much of a difference. Do I have thoughts on Jasmi? Seems like it could have a lot of upside in crypto because more heavily adopted. You know, Space Frog, that's been talked about for 2 years about Jasmi. And you know what? There's nothing happening in Japan with Jasmi. There's nothing that I see happening with Jasmi. Jasmi was trading up here at 16 cents in 2021. And it has just been flat since then. And there's just nothing going on with it. It's half a penny price now. Will it go on another run? Yeah, it might. But the so-called, like, you know, Bitcoin of Japan and all that stuff, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. And the Japanese as a country, they're just not embracing cryptocurrency that I can see. Not like what you see in Korea. Japan's just not doing it. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe next year we see this mass adoption and the Jasmi price takes off. That could happen. I do own some Jasmi, and we also have some Jasmi in this Kriss Pack's portfolio here. We bought this at 0.0036. So we're up 57% on this Jasmi, 125,000 Jasmi we have in this account here. Sure, Jasmi can go up in price. Is it going to take over Japan? No. And it's an unreal expectation, I think. But, you know, it's one of these cryptos that when you're in the bull market and things start flying and going crazy, could we see these prices back up here again? Maybe. I mean, it could do a 5x, it could do a 10x, and it wouldn't even be at its previous all-time high. So, yeah. How many Doge do I need to flip it to 1 million? Well, I guess it depends on what you think your price targets are for Dogecoin, right? If you have 1 million Dogecoin and the price goes up to $1, then you got $1 million. That's the easiest way to think of it, right? So, yeah, buy 1 million Dogecoin and wait for it to hit $1, and then you're a millionaire. Is it going to do that? We don't know. Doge is going to go on a run, though. At some point in time, Doge is going to go on a big run. We've seen it before. Is it in 2024? I think it is. Some people might be disappointed when Elon and X roll out these payments and it doesn't include Dogecoin. But I don't think that's Elon's first priority. But I think it'll be coming. I really think it's going to be difficult for them to deal with all of the different fiats of countries around the world. And it would be much easier for them to do crypto. But they're not, I don't think they're going to do it right at the start. But we'll see. I'm not a video game player. Nope. I used to do a bunch of video games back in the day. I did a bunch of stuff. But nope. I don't have time anymore. Got too much going on. That's what happens when you get older. You got too much going on. I mean, that doesn't stop Elon Musk, though, right? He still plays. But no, I'm not a video game player. ETH burning too. That's right. I don't know what the schedule is for that, though, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of set burning and inflation, because the amount can go up too. That's my understanding. So I don't know what the ETH, circulating supply changes. It can go up and it can go down. And I don't know how that's going to play out. So people will buy anything in alt season bull run. Even the website doesn't work. People are making money. Back in 2021 and it was full bull, everything was making money. Everything was making money. And we see a lot of that now. Again, look at the bubbles, right? They're just all green. There's a few reds. It's the Injective, but Injective was so overbought. It went up so fast, right? Stacks, another one, right? Just went up so fast. So a little red in some of those, but all these others are green across. Even all these hex bubbles, right? People buying into hex. I don't know what you're doing, but okay. And there's Doge, just hanging out. Put Doge right here in the middle. Doge. I love the bubbles. You guys like the bubbles? I know Ivan on Tech. This is his Morales Money thing, and I like this one. I know, Banter has some bubbles, and I just like these better. And you can do the top 100 tokens, and then you can click down here, and you can say, well, let's look at the next 100 and see what's going on. Green. Imagine that. They're all freaking green, except for OLAS. GMT. GMT had already pumped, so it's going back down. Most of these I've never heard of before. There's Pepe. Yeah. Pepe up 13%. But yeah, you can play with the Morales Money one. This is the one that I like. Go to the third page. What does that look like? Huh. Green. Hey, there's Whiff. Dog Whiff Hat up 40%. Any of you have Dog Whiff Hat? Look at that big green bubble. This is moralesmoney.com. Moralesmoney.com. Oh, you can't see the, because I've got my header up here. I can put it in the chat. Bum, 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 bum. Moralesmoney.com. So this is the bubble page I use, and this is Ivan's. And Ivan's hilarious. Yeah, you like the dog with the hat? Anyway, enough of the cute green. It's just green. Everything's green. We get Doge back in the middle again. Right there, where you belong. I don't know, Milady's. What is Milady's? I don't even know where it is anymore. Milady. Pum, 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 pum. It's number 534 in market cap. Number 534. Oh, we had a nice little run today. Look at that. 21% today. What's it done for the last month? Yeah, not so good. Not so good for the past month. So, yeah, this is just a nice little thing today, but you look at the past month and it's kind of been bleeding out. So this chart doesn't look so good to me. But you never know with these things, right? You never know. Well, there's the $1 million question right there. Should I sell all my BTC and go all in on Doge? Well, I can't tell you what to do, but I would suggest you change the word all to half, right? Because you don't want to give up all of your exposure. So maybe if you wanted to change your allocation a bit, maybe you trade half your BTC for Doge and just go straight BTC to Doge if you have that trading pair without selling it for currency and then or Tether and then doing another, because then you've got two trades depending on which exchange you trade on and whether you have trading fees. But that's what, if I was looking to reallocate and I was all in B and in BTC and I didn't have any Doge, I would look at like maybe half, something like that. You have the Crypto Bubbles app on my phone. Can bring it anywhere you go. Yeah. It just gives you such a quick look at the market. Like, what's going on in the market? It looks green to me. Love the bubbles. Between the bubbles and the liquidations, these are the charts I look at the most. I mean, except for the actual, trading charts. When I go look at other charts, it's like, what's going on with liquidations? Are the liquidations going on the on the short or the long, and what do the bubbles look like? Just very quickly. And for Dogecoin, again, Francisco, Dogecoin goes on runs. It tends to follow the market in between. Compared to BTC, when BTC goes on a run, Dogecoin does not gain as much in value. And when BTC goes down, Doge goes down at a higher rate. So you lose out. But when Dogecoin decides to go on a run, it outperforms Bitcoin by a lot. That's how Doge trades. You want to be in Doge right before it goes on its big run, but you don't know when that is, which is why I say you DCA into Doge and you wait and you be patient, because Doge is going to go on a run at some time. You just don't know when. So you DCA in and you be patient. That's how I'm playing Dogecoin. And now, in 2021, I had 400,000 Doge. And I was up to about 500,000 Doge. Held it all the way through, all the way up to 74 cents and all the way back down. But this year, I've been buying a lot of Dogecoin. And most of it in the 6 to 7 cent range is where I bought most of my Dogecoin, where now I'm somewhere between 2.5 and 3 million Dogecoin. Now, I don't know exactly because I've got Doge on my Nano S, right? Ledger. I've got Dogecoin in my Exodus wallet. I've got Dogecoin in my MyDoge app. I've got Dogecoin in my Trust wallet. I've got some Dogecoin on Robinhood, and I've got some Dogecoin on Coinbase in 2 places because I also have it here, this 75,000 Doge here, which is really going to be your guys' Doge if you join my channel. So I keep spreadsheets for most of my purchases, but I have it separated. I haven't like added up all my Doge, so I don't know what my average Doge price is overall with all my Doge, and I don't know. I pretty much every other cryptocurrency I know exactly how much I have, except Dogecoin, because it's like I've got it in so many places. So. Bitcoin, was it ever sub penny? When Bitcoin was launched, it pretty much had no value because you couldn't trade it anywhere. There were no exchanges. So there really wasn't a sub penny price per se that you could see like on a chart, because there were no charts for crypto when Bitcoin started. Bitcoin was basically what you could get somebody else to pay you for it. So yeah, you could essentially get someone to give you 100 Bitcoin for $1, right? And that would be a penny. And at the beginning, you could probably get a lot more Bitcoin for that, because mining Bitcoin at the beginning was pretty easy. You could just do it with a regular computer, and you could accumulate a lot of Bitcoin. Like how many Bitcoin did Laszlo, what's his name, spend on those 2 pizzas? Like 10,000 Bitcoin or something, right? And that was all he mined. That all. It didn't cost him anything but a little, energy, right? Some electricity for that 10,000 Bitcoin. And he paid someone to deliver him 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. So, but there was no exchange back then. There was no formal exchange. So there was no real price. That came about maybe a year and a half later. There started to be a little more organization about like what Bitcoin was worth. But at the beginning, there was no exchange or no anything like that. But yeah, to be to be mining Bitcoin back in 2010. God, yeah. Wish I was doing that. Blue Horse, welcome. Thank you. Is Bonk up because of ETH? No, Bonk is really more tied to Solana typically, but the Bonk price is going up mostly because all the memes are going up. They're all going up. We just saw Dog with Hat going up. We saw Milady's going up. And then this was Bonk. This was Bonk going up here. So Bonk came up to about 17, now back to 15. But we're going to see Bonk probably back up to 30. This is where it was back here in, it was up to 30, 15th of December. So that would be a 2x just to get back up to 30 there. And this is where I bought Bonk. I rebought Bonk. Because I bought Bonk at like 17. I sold right up here at 30, right near the top. That was a great sell I did for that Bonk. And then rebought back at like 14.20, and then bought some more down here at about 11.30 or so, even though Bull Run was saying, well, I'm going to wait till it drops below 10. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Well, it did. So you were right, Bull Run. I was like, no, I thought that was the dip right there on the 3rd of January. That big wick down came back up. So that's where I bought it. I was like, okay, it's just going to go up from here. And it started to, but then it turned around and dropped lower. Yeah, you can't win them all. But again, this is bonus bonk for me because I went from 260 million bonk to buying like 460 there and then another like 300 here. So now I've got essentially 700 million bonk for the same price as what I started back here. So that's not bad. But yeah, Bonk's price, if Solana's going up, Bonk will go up. But Bonk also goes up. I've seen when other memes are also spiking and going up. We're seeing a little retracement now, and Solana is also doing a little retracing. It's more tied to Solana. Yeah. Yeah, not ETH. It's a Solana meme. Yep. You see the maxi. Why do the maxis have to fight? It is sad. I agree. That was like back in 2021, like all the Bitcoin maxis like poo-pooing Dogecoin. And I was like, look what Dogecoin did, bringing so many new people into cryptocurrency in 2021. It was like at least half of the people that came into crypto in 2021, their first crypto they bought was Dogecoin. Then they find out about Bitcoin, they buy a little Bitcoin, and it's like, okay, that's how I did it. So, yep, like Low Roller says, most Bitcoin people now start with Dogecoin. Dogecoin is the one that is out there that is like an entry level to cryptocurrency. And we're going to see that again, hopefully, maybe in February with SpaceX. Doge 1 mission is going to get some people, oh, what's that, right? And especially if the price is going up and there's excitement about it, that's when people start buying, new people. And that's what Dogecoin, I think, is going to need to really take off, is going to be, it's going to be, some craziness with the buying as well as, out in the media. And then we're going to hear all of this talk about Dogecoin again. So, yep. We talked about, Rodrigo, earlier in the stream, whether it's going to be a real pump for BTC. And in my opinion, no, we're not going to see a pump in BTC. I think what we're going to see now is gradual inflows into Bitcoin. And again, I mean, look at the price, or the volume has like totally died out here in Bitcoin. Looks like we had some selling happening here just about half an hour ago. We've got a big red candle. So there's some selling going on with Bitcoin here. I think that was it. What we had, the total fake out we had on Tuesday, Bitcoin went up to 48K and then dropped all the way down to 45K. It's like, that was the fake out. We'll see if the SEC was lying about really being compromised or not. And then today, after the approval, we had a little bit of run on Bitcoin, but again, the ETFs aren't trading yet. They don't start trading until 9:30 tomorrow morning, I think. So no one's buying spot ETFs. We just have the word of the approval of them because they trade with the markets, and the market opens at 9:30 East Coast time on Thursday. So yeah, we're seeing some red coming down, but it looks like there's a red going in this hour kind of everywhere. Even ETH is starting to turn around. So we're having the whole crypto market kind of turning around a little bit now, which means, yeah, probably time for me to go to bed because it's 12:30 in the morning here. It's been fun. Yeah, I said $2 for Doge, Fem. I think that's potential. It's potential. Again, it's going to depend on the catalysts, right? Are we going to see Doge really being used on X Twitter? Is Elon really going to do it? Then that's where that $2 potential is going to be. But just without that, and if you've got the general cryptocurrency market going up in a bull run, Doge might hit 35 cents. And that's my target for Doge. Without catalysts, would be 35 cents. We won't see anything higher in Doge. But if you get something like Doge being accepted for payment for Tesla cars, or Doge used as a currency on the X Twitter platform, now we're talking. Now there's excitement in Dogecoin. That's what Doge needs. And the SpaceX Doge 1 mission, I don't know. That one still is, I don't know yet. But again, that's next month though. So that's going to be fun. All right, gang, that's what we've got for tonight. Look, good day for Doge. Back up over 8 cents. Let's hope it holds. It looks like we're having a little retracement happening here right now, but cryptos don't always go up. We get some up, down, but overall today again was a good day. We got almost everything in the green, which is good to see. And we'll see where we go tomorrow. So I'll be doing a video tomorrow, and then Friday I will be live again, doing a live stream at 5 o'clock East Coast time, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll be back on my regular schedule. Sorry I was a little late this morning or this evening because of the basketball game I went to. Celtics won, which was good. Woohoo. But it allowed me to come on later, and some of you who don't normally join me do. So if this is your first time watching me, please subscribe. We have fun talking about not only Dogecoin, but I talk about other cryptocurrencies too, everything going on in the market. A lot of it on how it affects Doge, because I love Doge. Who doesn't love dogs and memes, right? We're having so much fun. The potential is there though for huge gains with Doge, and it's just like, you gotta have some Doge in your wallet. You gotta have some Doge. Anyway, I hope you all are well. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has skyrocketed. Not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.